Good morning. I'm Savannah Sellers.
And I'm Kathy Parkin for Joe Fryer. Right now on Morning News Now, inside the plot. Today, in likely the final January 6 hearing before the midterms, lawmakers plan to take a deep dive into the plan to overturn the election, including an inside look at Trump's mind before, during, and after the Capitol riot. How this new information could impact the January 6 investigation. Plus, a new twist in the Mar-a-Lago case. What a Trump employee told the FBI about the boxes of classified documents found at the former president's estate. On edge for the fourth morning in a row, Ukraine's capital of Kyiv is waking up to air raid sirens as Russia steps up attacks in the region. The new information we're learning about where these Russian missiles are coming from. Plus, the new steps Ukraine's military is taking to defend themselves. And Inflation Nation, new numbers are out this morning giving us an idea if the overall cost of everyday items is going down. We are breaking down the latest inflation data and what it means for everything from groceries to gas and your credit cards. Plus, mind surfing, a new documentary is taking us inside the life of a pro surfer. Connor Coffin joins us later this hour with how he's risen among the ranks of the competition and how surfing has helped him outside of the water. So cool. Looking forward to that conversation. Yeah.
Pro surfers always just fascinate me. I mean, how are you not just terrified when you see the size of
I want to give
wave?
it a shot, but it looks pretty hard.
I did growing up in California.
That's right.
It didn't go, stood up a couple times and fell immediately. Yeah, we'll do that later.
Yeah. All right. Well, we begin this morning with that new claim that former President Trump allegedly ordered classified documents to be moved in his Mar-a-Lago residence after he received a subpoena to return them.
It comes just hours before the January 6th committee holds what will likely be its final hearing leading up to November midterm elections. Chief White House correspondent Kristen Welker joins us now with more. Hey, Kristen, good morning.
Hey, guys, good morning to you. This is expected to be the final hearing, at least before the midterms, and the stakes could not be higher. The focus today is expected to be on former President Trump's state of mind and his involvement in the events leading up to January 6th. And it comes as the legal drama surrounding the former president is intensifying yet again. This morning, a new twist in the investigation into former President Trump's alleged mishandling of classified documents at his Florida estate. A source familiar with the matter confirming to NBC News that a Trump employee told federal agents about moving boxes of documents at Mar-a-Lago at the specific direction of former President Trump. First reported by the Washington Post, which also reported Trump told people to move boxes to his residence at the property after advisors received a subpoena in May for any classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. The Post, citing people familiar with the investigation, adding that witness account was corroborated by security camera footage, which showed people moving the boxes. NBC News has not reviewed that footage. Agents executed a court-ordered search warrant at Mar-a-Lago in August, recovering more than 11,000 government documents, including more than 100 with classified markings. A spokesman for the former president said in a statement without providing any evidence, the Biden administration has weaponized law enforcement and fabricated a document hoax in a desperate attempt to retain political power. All this as the final January 6th committee hearing before the midterms gets underway in just a few hours. Committee members aim to underscore their central argument that Mr. Trump was at the center of the attack on the Capitol.
We have a bunch of new documentary evidence and statements that establish the central role that Donald Trump played and his overwhelming culpability.
So, Kristen, when do we expect the committee's work to wrap up, and what's the potential impact? What will actually come from this?
Yeah, those are the key questions, Savannah. The committee wouldn't say this is their closing argument, so it's possible there's more to come. But Chairman Benny Thompson has said he hopes to issue at least a preliminary report before the midterms. And remember, if Republicans win the House, the committee will come to an end in January, effectively. The big question, though, will there be a criminal referral to the Justice Department? Congresswoman Liz Cheney has said the committee members would need to be unanimous in supporting that. And of course, guys, all of this with the midterms looming just very large, just a few weeks away now.
Just a few weeks away. So much to watch for, so much going on. Kristen Welker, thank you so much. Always great to see you.
You too.
Now, Barbara McQuaid, former U.S. attorney in Michigan and law professor at the University of Michigan Law School, joins us now. Barbara, thanks for being with us. So aside from what we just heard there and aside from this House committee, we know there's quite a bit else going on for the former president. The Department of Justice is, of course, conducting its own investigation into Trump's possible involvement in the January 6th riots. The New York York Attorney General's office is suing him and family members for fraud. And now these latest developments in the Mar-a-Lago case with this alleged moving of documents. With all that on top of the investigation from the House committee, how could this potentially impact a possible Trump bid for the upcoming 2024 presidential election, especially as we do see the former president out on the road right now?
It's a really interesting question because Trump has always campaigned on this idea of victimhood. And so criminal charges against him could be something that he just uses as more campaign fodder for his base. But I think that there is a swath of people who may have voted for him in 2016 who've just had enough. And so if they see him charged with crimes or even the news that's coming out about his activity, I think is enough to make people just fed up with him. So I don't think it helps in the long run to see all of this activity. And then, of course, if charges are actually filed against him, that could have some very serious repercussions for his ability to campaign. He'll have court appearances and even the possibility of incarceration.
And Barbara, today's hearing will look a little different than previous hearings. Today, each member of the 9-member panel will have a role, and we won't have any live witness testimony. So what might be the committee's strategy in closing out the hearings in this way?
Well, they've promised some new material today. As we've seen in the past, they sometimes show clips from interviews that they've done with witnesses. Certainly, I'll be curious whether we hear anything from Ginny Thomas, who has been interviewed by the committee. Or they've also talked about two topics that I think we're all curious to hear more about. Roger Stone and his connections with the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys, and revelations from the text messages we've now received from the Secret Service. But I think more than anything, they're going to want to do what's referred to as closing argument in a trial, which is, it's been several months now, and all of these different hearings, we heard different tidbits kind of piecemeal, bringing them all together. What does it mean and what does it show? And I think they can make a very compelling case that Donald Trump participated in a conspiracy to defraud the United States about the proper administration of our elections in trying to retain power by fraud.
Absolutely. Barbara, look, I think in the lead up to the 2016 election, we saw a lot that we thought might make a dent there for the president, but that wasn't eventually the case when he became the president. But we are now close to these midterm elections. Expectations for this panel are high. They gained a lot of momentum before their August break. We don't know for sure if this is the final hearing, but it's looking like it could be. What is at stake here? And then where does that mean the committee goes from here?
Well, I think everybody's looking to, how this might impact the midterm election. And I'm sure as politicians, they're concerned about that. But I also think that there's a larger historic movement afoot here that is really important. The 9/11 Commission report was something that changed the way we govern and fixed a lot of gaps in the law. And I think long term, that's the purpose here. Now, of course, if they lose the House, they lose the ability to continue their work. And so I'm sure the race is on to see, one, whether they win the midterms, and if not, to complete a report by the end of the year. But I think this is more than just this political moment. It is about American history.
All right, Barbara McQuaid, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And NBC News Now will also carry today's hearing live. Our coverage begins right here at 12:30. And turning now to the verdict in Alex Jones' defamation trial in Connecticut.
A jury has ordered the InfoWars host to pay nearly $1 billion to the families in Sandy Hook for falsely claiming the 2012 shooting was a hoax. NBC News correspondent Emily Aketa is here now with the latest. Hey, Emily, good morning.
Good to be here with both of you. It took the jury less than 3 days to agree on that staggering penalty, almost $1 billion in damages. In fact, it was nearly double what prosecutors had been asking for. The jury sending a clear message that the InfoWars frontman's wild conspiracy theories are very costly.
Sorry. Have you agreed upon a verdict?
Yes. Yes. An outpouring of emotion as the verdict was read. A Connecticut jury ordering right-wing conspiracy theorist Alex Jones to pay nearly $1 billion to families of 8 Sandy Hook victims and an FBI first responder. Erica Lafferty is the daughter of Sandy Hook's principal.
The truth matters. And those who profit off of other people's pain and trauma will pay for what they have done.
The $965 million verdict is the second large judgment against the InfoWars host for promoting the lie Sandy Hook was a hoax. Jones calling grieving parents like Robbie Parker, who lost his 6-year-old daughter Emily, hired crisis actors.
And it shouldn't be this hard, and it shouldn't be this scary.
While the verdict was being revealed, Jones was on air mocking what he called a show trial.
Yeah!
Initials.
Never said their name, don't know who they are.
The month-long trial featured dramatic testimony about the years of vicious harassment and violent threats Sandy Hook families have endured.
It is a constant fear.
Mark Barden telling the jury how Jones's followers violated the grave of his son Daniel.
And to hear that people were desecrating it and urinating on it and threatening to dig it up.
Jones's attorney vowing to appeal.
Well, certainly it's more than we expected. That's an understatement. But we look very much forward to an appeal in this case. Candidly, from start to finish, the fix was in this case.
After years of false claims this summer during another Sandy Hook trial, Jones admitted the tragedy did occur. He was ordered to pay nearly $50 million to a victim's family in that case. But during this trial, he lashed out again on the witness stand.
And I'm done saying I'm sorry.
Refusing to apologize or acknowledge the pain he caused.
But I legitimately thought it might have been staged, and I stand by that, and I don't apologize for it.
It's not clear how much of the verdict Jones can actually afford to pay. Legal experts say while it's unlikely Jones will be able to overturn this verdict on appeal, he could force the families to fight for every dollar this court has now ruled they are owed and draw out the process. Also, keep in mind, he still has another defamation trial back in Texas. Just breaks your heart, though, to see what those families want is just closure for this to be done and to watch them going through this and then have to wait for an appeal. It's hard to watch. Emily Aketa, thank you so much.
And out of breaking news out of Connecticut, 2 police officers are dead and 1 is in serious condition after a shooting overnight in Bristol. Connecticut State Police say it happened around 11 p.m. when the officers were responding to a scene in Bristol. These officers gathered at the hospital and led a procession in a tribute to the fallen officers.
Now, former Los Angeles City Council President Nury Martinez has resigned from her position. Martinez's decision came after protests over a leaked recorded conversation in which she's heard making offensive comments about a colleague, his child, and members of the indigenous community. Martinez publicly apologized for her comments Monday and resigned from her post as council president on Tuesday. Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti is now calling for the 2 other council members heard on the tape to also resign.
To Ukraine this morning, rescuers are working to pull survivors out of the rubble in the southern city of Mykolaiv, which was hit overnight by Russian missiles. Officials say the rockets hit a 5-story residential building. NBC News chief foreign correspondent Richard Engel is in the city and has the latest.
Russia is continuing to attack Ukrainian cities indiscriminately. We are in the city of Mykolaiv, and overnight a Russian missile hit this apartment building while people were sleeping.
Russian missiles can find you anywhere in Ukraine now as Russia widens its offensive to attack civilians across the country. Ukrainian officials say 8 Russian S-300 missiles slammed into the residential center of Mykolaiv overnight.
This apartment building was hit around 1 o'clock in the morning. We heard the incoming strikes very clearly, very loudly in the city. And the Russian missile took off the top 2 stories of this 5-story apartment building. One 11-year-old boy has been rescued, has been found amid the rubble, but 8 other people, at least, are still missing. And according to Ukrainian military officials, this is the new face of Russia's campaign because Russian soldiers, they say, have been suffering losses on the battlefield. Russia has decided to hit the civilian population directly in their homes to terrorize the population.
Olena Mishanets is looking for her sister and niece who lived on the top floor. The sister, Olga, a 64-year-old widow, didn't respond to Olena's messages after the attack. Awful things are happening here, Olena says. Show the world that this is not a movie. This is real.
Do you think they're under the rubble right now?
I hope they're alive. Maybe they escaped, she says. Olena's husband, Valery, blames one person for all this. Putin and his state are terrorists that must be destroyed, he says. Ukraine says that Russia is attacking softer, undefended targets out of desperation because it is losing the war. But help may be coming. The U.S. and other allies decided at a meeting in Brussels on Wednesday to provide more air defenses to Ukraine. It comes as another American volunteer has died while fighting in Ukraine. Dane Partridge's sister confirming to NBC News that her brother was killed in the conflict. As forces in Ukraine fight on, Ukraine says air defenses are now the #1 priority. And here in Mykolaiv this morning, it's easy to understand why.
We spoke to the parents of that 11-year-old boy who was saved. In fact, that's his room right there behind the digger with the yellow wall. The boy, after the missile struck, was awake for 7 hours. He was screaming. His parents could see him, they could hear him, but they couldn't pry him free because he was under all of the heavy debris. He's now been taken to a local hospital. He has 2 broken legs and a damaged kidney. His parents say he is very lucky to be alive.
Our Richard Engel. Richard, thank you.
Thanks, Richard. Stay safe. And now let's go get a check on your Morning News Now weather.
Meteorologist Michelle Grossman joins us now with the forecast. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning to you both. And it's a wet and windy day in the Northeast, also in the Mid-Atlantic. You need the umbrella as you head out this afternoon, especially this evening. We're going to see heavy rain falling. That could lead to splash flooding. So this is what today looks like. In the Northeast, we're looking at heavy rains where you see the yellows and reds tucked underneath that text. That's where we're going to see the heaviest rain. And then in the middle of the country, it's going to be windy. Winds gusting near 50 miles per hour in some spots. It's really dry, too, low humidity. That's going to increase the fire risk. And if we do see fires, they'll spread very quickly. Record warmth in the Northwest, and that's going to continue for the next couple of days. So this is the setup. We have an area of low pressure, a cold front that is bringing all these showers and storms. And again, some could be heavy. So we're looking at gusty storms, especially this afternoon. This evening, we could see winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour, some hail, even the chance of a brief tornado. Localized flooding is certainly possible. And then as we go throughout tomorrow, the front kind of slows down. It lingers in portions of New England, and that's where we're expecting the most rain, up to 4 or 5 inches. The rounds of heavy rain will continue to soak Maine. And because of that, we do have a flood watch where you see the green here, 2 million at risk for some flooding. That includes Bangor, Berlin, also Portland, Maine. And where you see the darkest colors, once again, that's where we're expecting the highest rainfall. So that could lead to flooding, especially where you see those dark reds, the dark oranges, also some yellow, but really generally from New York, New England into portions of the Carolinas, we're going to see some heavy rainfall. Again, we do have a severe threat, the risk for strong to severe storms, winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour. Could see some hail, although the threat is low, but we could see some small hail, and a brief tornado or two is possible. That would be mainly this afternoon into the evening hours. So for that evening commute, it's going to be a tricky one. Now, as we're looking at radar right now, we're seeing showers and storms already. We had some strong storms a couple hours ago in the southeast. Still seeing some heavy rain, though, in spots. The yellows, the oranges, the brighter colors is where we're seeing the heaviest rain falling. So portions of the Carolinas, the southeast, into portions of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. And we're going to continue to see this all day long. So hopefully you brought the jacket with the hood or the umbrella as you head out today. Now, back behind this front, it is cool. It is windy. We're looking at temperatures only in the 40s. 2 days ago, they were at 80 degrees in Minneapolis. Today, just 48 degrees. That's 13 degrees above normal for this time of year. You kind of see those arrows. That's the wind flow from Canada. And that's why we're seeing that cooler, chilly, blustery conditions. The jet stream so far to the south, kind of blocking off any warmer air coming north. Detroit, 60 degrees today. Marquette, 46, 46. Also in Fargo, chilly there. Chilly also in Davenport, Des Moines, just 57, and 62 in Indianapolis. We're going to see that chill moving to the east tomorrow. So Elkins, Maryland, 62. That's 5 degrees below what is typical for this time of year. 48 degrees once again in Minneapolis, 50 in Green Bay, 57 degrees in Chicago. And it's going to be cool in the Mid-Atlantic as well. I mentioned that fire threat. That's because we have really low humidity, winds gusting up to 45 miles per hour at times. Where you see the red, that is a critical risk. So Nebraska, Kansas, we're going to be watching very closely today. 12 million impacted by a red flag warning. That's essentially a warning to residents to be careful of using any flammables outside because things are very, very dry. We could see fires very quickly. Taking a little peek at the weekend ahead. It's never too early for that. We're looking at that heavy rain continuing on Friday in portions of New England. Brisk and cool in portions of the Great Lakes, and still warm in the west. Back to you guys.
Yeah, there you go. This
is Friday Junior.
Yeah. It does.
Friday Junior, so we're ready to hear about it.
Friday Junior.
Yeah.
Never heard that.
Yeah.
I love it.
And like you said, October crisp. Very exciting. Thanks, Michelle.
And coming up on Morning News Now, keeping families together.
Yeah, Connecticut is making major changes to its foster care system in an effort to reunite more families. And we'll also take a look at the racial inequities in the system and how they're now being addressed. That's all up next. Welcome back. Let's get to some international news. And clashes between Palestinians and Israeli security forces broke out across the West Bank after a Jerusalem refugee camp was locked down.
NBC News foreign correspondent Claudio Lavanga joins us now with more on that and the other stories making headlines around the world. Good morning, Claudio.
Good morning. Yes, tensions in East Jerusalem has been soaring since the beginning of the week when an Israeli soldier was killed by a suspected Palestinian assailant that led to violent confrontation between Israeli troops and Palestinians in dozens of neighborhoods in East Jerusalem. Overnight, Israeli police fired live rounds, tear gas and stun grenades at Palestinians who responded by throwing stones, firecrackers and fire bombs. Now let's go to India, where the Supreme Court couldn't reach a verdict on whether students can wear a hijab in schools. The row began at the beginning of the year when a government college in the south of the country barred Muslim girls from wearing a hijab in class. Muslim women protesters then challenged the ban in court, saying it was discriminatory and against their rights to freedom of expression and religion. And finally, let's stop by in Syria, where a rare, well-preserved 4th century Roman mosaic floor was unearthed. The mosaic, discovered in the central province of Homs, is inlaid with thousands of colored mosaic pieces made of small grains and glass and was dubbed as the most complete and rare painting ever unearthed in Syria. Savannah, Kathy?
Beautiful.
Incredible
Very
how
cool.
the condition it's in.
Yeah, really amazing.
All right,
Beautiful.
Claudio, thank you.
Thank you.
Turning now to how one state turned around its foster care system.
Yeah, nearly 4 years ago, Connecticut's Department of Children and Families got its first ever African-American head who vowed to keep families together whenever possible while addressing the system's racial inequities. NBC News senior investigative and legal correspondent Cynthia McFadden has more.
Yeah, pretty good. After nearly 10 years, Ty Thurgood is finally reunited with his children.
It's been a long road to getting those kids back with you.
Yeah. We met the 37-year-old at a park near his home in Bridgeport, Connecticut, and sat at the picnic table where he once had supervised visits with his kids after DCF, the Department of Children and Families, removed them from his home.
It was the worst experience ever. It was one of the most embarrassing things also.
At the time, he was working more than 80 hours a week as a security guard on movie sets. People close to the family contacted DCF, raising concerns about whether the children were being neglected. Ty says he felt the caseworker did not have any interest in helping him keep his kids, and their mother was unable to care for them.
We were caught here, so now we got to remove them. That's what it felt.
Knee-jerk.
Right, absolutely.
Two of his children, now 13-year-old Taj and 10-year-old Taraji, ended up in foster care.
I felt really lonely and, sad.
It's 6 months. You went through 6 families.
Yeah.
Ty would be the first to admit he had a lot to learn about how to be a good dad. He grew up without one. Finally, a few years ago, he says DCF seemed different, willing to work with him and direct him to services. He started meditating to center himself, cut back on his work hours, and found a mentor in a fatherhood class.
He wound up really, really giving me an understanding that, hey, you're dad and you matter.
He empowered you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You want people.
And that is precisely what DCF's first African-American commissioner, Vanessa Durantes, intended when she took office nearly 4 years ago.
A lot of times, poverty is being conflated with neglect.
She vowed to provide support to families to help them stay together and to tackle the racial inequities she says are baked into the system.
It's like boiling the ocean. Back in 2012, a black child was 4 times more likely than their white counterpart to come into foster care. Today, it's 2.5 times. We want to get to eradicating or eliminating disparity.
Ira Lustbader says that's a problem across the country. He's a lawyer for Children's Rights, a nonprofit that sued 23 states, including Connecticut, more than 30 years ago.
When we first brought that case decades ago, it was a system that was just dangerous and chaotic and broken.
And racist.
And structurally impacting black and brown kids disproportionately, for sure. The system itself was harming kids, bouncing kids around 10 or 20 times from home to home or from institution to institution.
But this year, after 3 decades and many changes, a federal judge gave Connecticut's foster care system a clean bill of health.
Connecticut has gone from a state that was really a mess when it came to foster care to a bright light.
I think the system is a beacon for others to look at and a model for that you can effectively turn around an agency and be responsible and accountable to the kids and families that you're there to support.
Ironically, it was because of that lawsuit that Durantes got hired in 1992.
I was one of the first group of social workers that were hired to bring down our caseloads,
while at the same time making sure each child was safe.
We don't want children to be left in unsafe situations, so we often look at our child and placement numbers in concert with our repeat maltreatment and our recurrence of coming back into care.
So how are those numbers right now?
Below the national average, both of those, thank you very much, and continuing to trend downward.
Today, there are 30% fewer children in Connecticut's foster care system than in 2019, when Durantes became commissioner. And nearly 2,400 children have been reunited with their families, including Ty's children.
I know you know this, but your father worked really hard to make it possible to have you all back with him. You know that.
And if I was to be a father, I want to be like him.
At that, Ty broke down in tears.
It just hit me.
You knew what it meant not to have a father.
Absolutely. I try to be the person that I know I needed.
And so in this story filled with happy surprises,
I'm Ty Thurgood, man.
Vanessa Durante's department has now asked Ty to help them train their staff to better support other fathers. Ty's reaction?
It's proof of being able to make beauty out of chaos.
Was it you that changed or the system that changed?
Both. It was both. It seemed like a new system.
It is a new system and a new Ty. Now, of those original 23 states that were sued by children's rights, about half are still being monitored by the courts, many of them decades and decades later.
Such an eye-opening report, an emotional report. Seeing the I'm glad you're asking down. Yeah, I think we were all moved by that. So Cynthia, I think when we look at the foster care system, we wonder, how do you prevent a child from potentially being harmed?
Well, see, this is the key, right? I mean, we all see these horrific reports. We've all covered many of them where a child is left in a family and something horrible happens. The child is killed, for example. And, no one wants to be the social worker who left the child in that dangerous situation. So the knee-jerk reaction has been to pull the kid. You get any kind of warning, any kind of alert, pull the kid. Well, in most cases, it's a possible neglect case. And if you work with the family, if you give them some skills and some resources, very likely that family can stay together, which is much better for everyone. And that's really the secret sauce that Connecticut has pioneered. And I have to say, having spent some time with Vanessa Durantes, she really gets it. I mean, she worked her way up through the system. She's dedicated to making a difference, and it is a beacon for many, many other states.
Absolutely. She has a lot to be proud of, and so does that dad. Oh, my gosh,
Ty.
And those kids, I mean, just amazing.
Family's whole again. We love to see that.
Yeah,
exactly. Much better than bouncing around in foster care.
Yeah, amazing. Cynthia, thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
And coming up, new inflation numbers are out this morning.
So are we seeing any signs of relief? We're breaking down the new report next, including what it means for your wallet. You are watching Morning News Now. We're back with breaking news on the state of inflation here in the U.S.
Yeah, the latest consumer price index report has just been released. Year over year, that number is up 8.2%, and that shows that costs people are paying for everyday items like food, rent, and energy has gone up. NBC News business and data reporter Brian Chung is here, along with Investopedia editor-in-chief Caleb Silver. So these numbers are just coming in, so break those numbers down for us.
Yeah, we're still seeing very sticky high inflation on the things we have to pay for every day. So even the Bureau of Labor Statistics points out housing, shelter, food, medical costs, all rising. We're seeing medical care costs up 3.7% on an annual rate here. Electricity, 15.5%, and that's only going to get higher as we head into winter. Food at home, 13%. These are just the unavoidable costs that we have, and these keep rising and staying sticky high month after month.
Sticky high. That's a good way to put it. Brian, let's bring you in here. What's your take on this? And any signs at all here that this could be breaking at one of these new reports coming on later this year?
Well, for right now, it remains uncomfortably high, the amount of price increases that we're seeing in this country. But if there is one place where maybe we're seeing a little bit of relief, it is in energy. We saw this in the month of August as well, but in September, we did see prices across the board, fuel oil, motor oil, those types of things getting a bit cheaper. Americans have been observing that at the pumps over the period of kind of, let's say, leading up into the later parts of September. That story has reversed a bit. We've seen gas prices nudge up, so that story could change for the October report. But by and large, it seems like the energy side of things was a bright spot in this report, even though it's very hot. But broadly speaking, I want to point out one other thing. Energy services in the winter, it's going to be a very, very cold winter. And obviously, when we talk about the spiking price of natural gas, that could lead to higher prices for home heating, which could be an issue in the months to come.
And Caleb, what do these numbers mean for consumers? When can we expect these numbers to potentially go down? I think we're all kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, consumers' expectations for inflation see it at about 5.5% next year, so maybe some relief. The Federal Reserve also sees it that way, and that's why it's aggressively raising these interest rates. It stays the course here. It's going to continue to raise rates to the end of the year until inflation breaks. But remember, the Fed wants inflation around 2%. Where are we now? About 8.2%. So there's a big gap between where we are and where it wants it to be.
Absolutely. Brian, I'm wondering, because these reports are, you know, sort of backward looking. We're getting right now, or mid-October, we're looking at September numbers. And we're already seeing, we've been talking about on this show, if you've been with us, sorry, unless you're happy about it, we've been telling you about holiday sales and where you can get deals constantly. Obviously, a holiday sale is much different than whether or not things are just really at their base getting cheaper to produce and all that type of stuff. But could we see these numbers in the next CPI report kind of go down if we do have just goods getting cheaper for people to go out and buy?
Well, I was scrolling through, and again, you know, 8% inflation. That means across the board things are getting more expensive, but there are some price categories where we're seeing price declines. It's not many categories, but one of them is apparel. And it's really interesting to see that a lot of clothing retailers are having to discount some of the goods that they've been selling. One reason is because they possibly just over-ordered, right? Remember all those supply chain backlogs? The likes of Nike, for example, are now saying, look, we're stuck with all this inventory that we got to move, which points to perhaps more aggressive discounting in the holiday season.
And also, how do you think the stock market's going to react to this?
Not well. Futures are much lower. They're already trending higher. The stock market is not like investors don't like this because they know the Fed's going to stay the course. The drumbeat for higher interest rates is very loud right now. It's not going to stop until inflation eases.
I wish we had some good news to report.
I know.
Well, used cars and trucks. The price did fall for used cars and trucks.
That's
used cars and trucks and clothing. So
there you
at least
I'm
it's
going to go shopping.
Yeah.
All right. The two very specific items to buy in October. Thank you so much. Don't love the news you shared, but love having you both. I think this is the most people we've ever had in the Morning News Now studio. All right. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Now, in light of those inflation numbers, the Social Security Administration is expected to raise the cost of living adjustment figure for 2023.
And people on Social Security benefits are predicted to get at least an 8% increase next year, which would be the biggest jump since the early 80s. So let's bring in Kristen Meyer. She is the editor-in-chief of thebalance.com. Kristen, good to have you with us. So help us understand what this number would mean for people on Social Security. Will they be satisfied with this bump in benefits?
Yeah, so that COLA increase literally just came through just seconds ago. It is 8.7% for 2023. So pretty much bang in line with some of those expectations, which was between 8 and 9%. So what does this mean if you are on a fixed income, if you're receiving a Social Security check? They've done some calculations, and everyone should receive a boost of about $145, which the Biden administration had come out and said that folks would receive a pay bump, essentially, of about $140 a month. Now, for anyone that is receiving Social Security, they're not going to see that impact in their checks until January of the new year. But this is going to help a lot of folks really, truly get through these high inflationary times. As we just heard from Caleb and Brian, 8.2%. We are not seeing inflation decline just yet. It is, as Caleb was putting it, sticky high still. And so right now we're seeing a lot of folks, but particularly those Americans that are on a fixed income, really struggling to buy groceries or pay for gas or electricity. So this is definitely going to go a long way to help them with some of their bills.
Absolutely. Also, we're still waiting on these numbers, so we're kind of talking about what could potentially happen here. But could an increase in benefits potentially impact the long-term stability of the Social Security program? How does higher inflation impact the Social Security Trust Fund? Something that we've really been talking about for years now, actually.
Yeah, that's such a great question. Listen, that the administrators over at the Social Security Administration have essentially said they are going to run out of money by around 2035. So about 10 years left of funds. So this increase, is it going to drain the funds, overnight? No, it's not. But every single year, every single time they have to do an increase based on inflation, we're essentially going to see that we're going to get to that finish line even quicker, even faster. So there's definitely some problems here with how much inflation is impacting what's remaining inside that trust fund. The higher inflation is, the higher some of those benefits are going to be, which means just less and less money that's going to be available to pay out some of those benefits.
And Kristen, we're just learning that the benefits will go up 8.7%. But kind of jumping off that, what can we see happen to Social Security benefits beyond 2023? There's a lot of conversation, a lot of talk about a potential recession next year that many are predicting.
Yeah, so these raises are actually permanent. So even if we do go into a recession next year, and let's just say inflation drops, right, to maybe 6% or 4%, that doesn't mean that your Social Security benefit is actually going to decrease. So you are actually going to perhaps be able to make up for some of the hits that your wallet has been taking over this past year next year when we do see inflation hopefully start to come down. But again, once inflation remains stubbornly high, we're going to see those COLA increases continue to go up. Now, I will say that in times of recession, this has happened previously. It means that actually in the following year, so think 2024, you might not actually receive a big jump in some of those benefits. So that's how it's going to impact in the longer term.
Again, up 8.7%, about in line with what was expected. Expected to jump at least 8%. And now we've got that number. Kristen, thanks so much for helping us break that down.
Of course.
And turning now to the soaring prices of many of our fall favorites, from pumpkins to candy to any holiday staples, price tags are skyrocketing to scary new highs ahead of Halloween. NBC News correspondent Maggie Vespa joins us now from Illinois with more on what's behind this inflating prices. It looks like she's at a pumpkin patch. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Maggie, what do we know?
Yeah, Savannah, we don't want to disappoint, right? But as you said, these prices are scary. They're spooky. I mean, the puns really are just flying left and right at this point. But in all seriousness, pumpkin prices, lift this guy, are up 15 to 20% in some parts of the country. And while that might not shock families after a summer of record inflation, it got us wondering, is there any relief in sight? Well, one clue, it turns out, is rooted right here in America's heartland.
I like pumpkins.
Across the country, as Halloween creeps closer, pumpkin prices are reaching scary new heights.
It trickles down from gasoline to food prices to everything, to even as simple as a beautiful pumpkin.
At Gobert's Farm, west of Chicago, those iconic orange gourds up 10% as the cost of growing them grows.
The biggest issues raising the prices right now are more things that we can't control, such as fertilizer pricing, seed costs, labor expenses.
Of course, shoppers, while spooked, have been carving room in their food budgets for months. But the rising prices are going beyond the pumpkin patch. With the record pain of summer inflation stretching into fall, it's driving up prices of holiday staples and delivering a fright for your wallet. The cost of Halloween candy, turkey, eggs, even butter have all increased by at least 20% compared to last year. To save on your shopping list, experts say start price tracking your favorite ingredients now. Stores often put out Thanksgiving staples weeks in advance, opening the door for you to snag them when you see a sale. But how long will these high food prices last? One clue, rooted in America's heartland, where fall harvest is underway.
It's just kind of luck. Yes, it is. Oh, it's all luck. Mother Nature's the boss.
Lifelong corn and soybean farmer Dave Kestel is lucky. His yield is strong. But nationwide, he worries drought and record heat could cause crop supplies to take a hit.
You don't ever want to see another farmer miss that rain or have a bad storm.
So far, some crop yields are low. Corn, in particular, was hit hard by severe weather. But the full impact is not yet clear. The good news, experts say farmers are planting more, which should eventually help balance the squeeze of inflation.
You know, you're looking at things like 10, 15% reduction in price next year.
Industry insiders say to keep costs down and spirits high, consider going generic, which can save you up to 25% compared to name brands. And don't shy away from canned or frozen foods. They'll last longer and give you a bigger window to find a great deal, all providing relief to the pumped up prices of those beloved pumpkins.
So, Maggie, we're all gearing up for Halloween right now, and you mentioned the price of candy is also on the rise. Any way to make sure you're getting a good deal in the candy aisle before Halloween?
It turns out there is. You know, experts are always honing in on these details, and we got some advice for people. In particular, they said just to keep in mind that chocolate this year is actually slated to be more expensive than the fruity, sticky candy. So if you're really budget conscious, try going this route. And then they also noted they recommended, I had never heard this phrase before, being what they call an active candy distributor. And that means if a kid comes with a bucket like this, consider giving them a piece of candy each, put it in their bag instead of letting them, Savannah, just reach in and scoop everything up, which admittedly is what I did as a child. So I can't confirm
those are fighting words, Maggie. Neighborhoods across America are like, don't listen to her. All right, Maggie.
I know. Don't listen to her.
Yeah, Maggie, thanks very much.
Good way to get your house egged. I don't think you want to do that. All right, and taking a look at some more business news, TikTok is reportedly looking to expand its music platform.
That's right. CNBC's Silvana Henao joins us with that and other money news this morning. I bet Silvana wouldn't recommend that you only get one piece out.
Absolutely not. I definitely let them dig their hands in and take as much as they want.
Got one day for that. Why not?
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. So here we go. TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, is in talks with music labels to expand its streaming service to compete with Spotify. ByteDance eventually wants the service to be integrated with TikTok. The streaming service is currently available in more than a dozen markets, including India and Brazil. ByteDance wants the service to be available worldwide so users can discover songs on TikTok and then easily subscribe to music. Truth Social, the social media app created by former President Donald Trump, is now available on the Google Play Store. Google had banned the app this summer over its lack of content moderation. Truth Social has been available to download from the Apple App Store since February. Google says Truth Social has agreed to enforce moderation measures on user-generated content. And Microsoft Office meet Microsoft 365. The company is making the biggest brand overhaul in 30 years as it renames its collection of productivity apps that include Outlook, Work, PowerPoint, and Excel. Microsoft has been pushing the new branding for a while after changing the name of Office 365 to Microsoft 365 in 2020. Now, if you use any Office apps, they'll be branded with Microsoft 365 and a new logo in the coming months, guys.
All right, there you go. Lots going on, Silvana.
Big changes. All right, Silvana, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, that does it for this hour of Morning News Now.
But the news continues right now.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.